Hi friends, it's Lauren here on the Miss Ink Stamps YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm going to be creating a fandom card from the Magic Collection using the brand new Letters stamp set that was just released. Here is another sample I have from the sneak peeks for using this letter stamps, and this is using products that I won't be using at all today, but just wanted to share that with you as well. I'm going to be using the new Stair die set. This set is awesome for scene building, and it's not just for the Magic Collection. It's a great way to create fun little entry scenes for cards, especially with the little potted plant and the little cat. But we're going to use this particular wizard standing up from the stamp set as well as a sentiment and build a scene with this stair building die set. So I went ahead and did tons of die cutting off camera, and I'm also grabbed a piece of kind of a light purple pattern paper. I looked up what this scene is like in the movie, and I did my best to recreate the colors from this particular movie movie series. But anyway, we're going to talk about that when we get there, but let's move on to stamping. I'm stamping my main character here on some alcohol marker friendly white paper and an alcohol marker friendly black ink, and we'll go ahead and zoom in so you can see what colors I'm using. I'm using Olo markers today, and for the skin I'm going to use OR 3.4 as the darkest shade. Most of my colors today will just be 2 to 3 shades, and then I grabbed OR 4.2 to be the lighter shade, and I'm coloring over what I created as my shadow first and then blending that into the rest of the white space for what I'm coloring. So his hands, neck, and face. For his hair, I'm still going to use those ORs. I'm using now darker colors, so starting with 3.8 as the dark part of his hair, and then I'll bring in OR 3.7 and color that all in to be the lighter part. I'm trying to keep my light source just kind of in the center so there isn't really any specific area where the light's coming in. For his eyes, I use G 1.4, and then for the gray, which will be his shoes and shirt, I'm using CG 7 as the darkest tone. CG 5 will be the second color for the shoes and the mid-tone for the shirt, and then I will bring in CG 3 as the lightest for the shirt. So really just blending that together. For the button-up that he's wearing in the movie, he is wearing a plaid blue and red, but I just went with a simple blue color for his shirt. So I'm starting with the darkest tone of B 4.6 and then bringing in B 4.3 to blend that out. There is a bit of a jump between these two colors, so I go back and forth, really trying to make sure I blend that out really nicely. And then I will move on to the final area, which will be his pants. And for these, I'm bringing in O 7.7 and O 7.3. And there is also a big jump between these two colors. So I just, not having a mid-tone, I just do my best to really blend them, together to create a mid-tone, I guess, for where they meet, and just really trying to blend those colors together. I will take a white gel pen and color anywhere where I went outside the lines, and then I'm using the coordinating die to cut him out. So I am going to get all of my supplies ready. I'm going to clean up my desk a bit, make sure I'm ready to go with my glue, and we're going to trim down this purple floral pattern paper first. I was debating whether or not I was going to use the frame from the die. I love that you can use this optional frame for the A2 size, but I decided I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to trim my background to be the width of the pieces from inside of the frame from the die set. So that is 4 by 5.25. So I'll attach all of my pieces from this stairs scene building die set onto this purple pattern paper. So you can see here it fits perfectly on the inside of that frame. So I'm going to start with adding my ground, which I die cut out of some craft cardstock. I originally was thinking of popping this up, but I forgot that I was going to pop it up. So I'm just using my liquid adhesive to glue it down. Which means my stairway is going to be a little bit more popped up than the ground, but that's okay. You can't really tell that it's technically not correct. But it's a handmade card, and that's what counts. So I glued down my floor first onto the bottom of that panel. And then I die cut all of my staircase or under the stair panels, as well as the kind of like decorative panels that go. I don't know much about carpentry, so I don't I don't know what these are called, but these are kind of like a decorative piece for each part for under the stairs. And what's cool about this first die, the largest one, there's actually a score line. You can kind of see it, where if you wanted to create a working interactive door for under the stairs, the cupboard under the stairs, you can do that. I'm not going to make it interactive. I am going to slide my character so it looks like he's, coming out from his door under the stairs, but you can make it interactive, which I think is really cool. Now I die cut the stairs, like the decorative handle of the stairs, 3 times because I'm going to pop up most of my background, but I didn't want to have to apply foam adhesive behind these really delicate detailed features. So I die cut 3 out of the same cream colored cardstock, and I just use liquid glue to glue all of those together. So it adds some depth but also stability to be able to attach that to the background. So while the banister is drying with all that glue, I'm just moving my magnets to help give that some pressure. My 3 little cupboard pieces have dried, so let's get them attached. I'm using some 1 millimeter thick foam, so it's not very thick, just gives a bit of dimension on the back of all 3 of these pieces. So I'm just going to add foam adhesive to, like I said, the back. You'll see me here adding a couple strips on each side of the piece so there's some stability and it will adhere nicely to my background. And I'll peel off the release paper and I'm going to add this first piece. I liked leaving kind of all the pieces on so I could make sure I had it straight and that it was right snug against the ground piece as well as the edge of my pattern paper. And then I'll repeat that process for the middle piece. And then for the larger one, I am going to add that foam adhesive, but I'm not going to go all the way to the edge on the right side. I left some space so I can tuck in my main character to be poking out from behind his door. So to attach him, I'm going to add just a little bit of foam adhesive to the back of the shoes, and then I will use liquid adhesive for the rest of my character because most of him will overlap with the detailed of the cabinets under the stairs. So I just added that foam to the back of the shoes, pulled the release paper off. Here I'm adding my liquid adhesive, and I'm really only applying to half because half of him will be underneath that open door while the rest of him will overlap and attach to the card base. Once I have those done, I thought I would add in some of these details. Now, if you look up scenes from the movie of this particular fandom from the Magic Collection, there is not these little details. So like the little vent and the potted plant, but I wanted to show you how just great these little pieces are, these little details. I love this potted plant. I think it's so cute. So I wanted to add them even though they're not really in the movie version of this fandom, but maybe in my imagination they are. They would totally have a plant here just blocking this poor little kid's room. So I added some liquid adhesive to attach the vent. I used liquid adhesive to attach the leaves on the back side of this pot, and then I'm using liquid again adhesive to the back of the plants, and then I added that same 1 millimeter foam to the bottom of the pot. So just like I did with the shoes of my character, I'm adding that same dimensional piece of foam adhesive behind the bottom of the potted plant. After that, that will finish off the details of what's on the ground, but let's add a little door handle to our cupboard under the stairs. So adding a little bit of liquid adhesive onto the largest panel, and then I'll go ahead and use a jewel picker to help me pick up that small little door handle to put onto the cupboard. Now that the bottom of the stairs are all done, let's move on to adding the top of the stairs. So again, just using liquid adhesive because I already have some dimension from gluing all 3 of those layers of the banisters together. So I'll go ahead and attach that to the background as well. And that will finish off decorating our cards. So I'm going to pick up my craft space a little bit and then we will stamp a sentiment on because I should have done that first and I didn't. So we're going to grab my Misty and some black ink, and I'm going to grab one of the sentiments from the new stamp set, Letters. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment in that open top right area of my background. I'm going to use the sentiment that I just thought was really funny, and it says, "No blasted letters today, just this card." I love kind of the sassy sentiments that are in this stamp set. And I just stamped it with some black ink, like I said. I used VersaFine Onyx Black, which just made that nice clean stamp one time, but using the Misty just allows me to be able to stamp again in case it didn't turn out as nice as I would like it. I have a top folding A2 card base that I'm going to attach my panel to. So I'm going to grab my super sturdy Scotch glue and just add some adhesive on the back of the panel and then get that centered onto my card base. Now I definitely could have added the frame, but I liked having the white border. I think it looks nice just like this. So I will grab my white gel pen again. Like I said, I used it to color where I went outside the lines to hide the color. And then I just added some highlights on my image as well as my potted plant just to give it some more dimension and character. Here's a final look at how the card turned out. I hope you had fun assembling this card with me today and that you check out the new Stair Scene Building die set. I think it's great not only for the Magic Collection, but really any type of product that Miss Ink offers. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. You can find all of my Miss Ink supplies down there as well. Have a great day and thanks so much for watching.